A fascinating offseason for the Preds in that they had a pending unrestricted free agent in Philip Forsberg, who they decided to keep at the deadline in firm playoff position. His next contract looms large. It's going to be a significant one. My guess is an AAV that starts with at least a 9, coming off another 40-goal season. They got some incredible production from some guys that was probably pretty unlikely, in the sense that Matt Duchene, where did that 43-goal season come from? Ryan Johansson back up producing at the level closer to what we expected with that $8 million a year deal. And Forsberg, as we mentioned, 42 goals, and he's a pending UFA. When you take a look, Chris, at this video that we saw of Philip Forsberg leaving the ice as the Nashville Predators were swept at Bridgestone Arena, just really stood out to me. Take a look at how long Philip Forsberg, his teammates, they're sliding off the ice, and he's just kind of giving it an extra lap, an extra look, just in case this is the last chance or last view that he has of Bridgestone Arena as a Pred. When you look at that, what does it tell you anything? Does it give you any insight into what he may be thinking as the offseason is here?
Yeah, well, it tells me that either he's made up his mind that he's played his last game in Nashville, or he's certainly open to the possibility of leaving, and he's trying to soak it up for one last time in case that possibility happens. You know, the thing with the Predators, it was unfortunate that Saros got hurt because they didn't really get a chance to do what they might have been able to do in the playoffs. Although, you know, we know that going up against Colorado was probably a waste of 8 days, as our friend in Calgary like to tell us. But, you know, it's difficult. You end up with a UFA in Forsberg, and if he leaves, you don't get anything for him other than the cap space to replace him. You know, that's a challenge. And you wonder whether David Poile maybe should have made a different choice, knowing that they were likely to face Colorado, that it was likely going to be a quick playoff exit, and maybe he needed to start maximizing assets. I'm sure they would have had conversations with Forsberg throughout the season and known his stance or what it would take. And, you know, so if they end up without Forsberg, then, you know, it's a missed opportunity for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think your point is really well made also, in that if he hasn't made up his mind to leave, that he's at least open to the possibility, which I think is half the battle. You get to this point, you know, right. The Preds have drawn a line in the sand, I believe. Roman Josi is our leading scorer. He's our MVP, one of the MVP candidates in the league. You're going to have to get in line on the salary cap behind him. We're not paying you more than Roman Josi. And so is that enough to keep? Is $9 million flat enough to keep Philip Forsberg? Can he get more on the open market? Play-driving wingers are rare in the NHL, let alone ones that produce like Philip Forsberg does. That's the other part of the equation, though, for the Preds, is they look like a totally different team without him, and perhaps are even going a step backwards, as you wonder if guys like Johansson, if guys like Duchene can have that same level of production that they had last season to do it again next year, when they were sort of career anomalies and it looked like they were heading in the total opposite direction. This is going to be a season or summer potentially of change for the Nashville Predators.